Hello children, how are you all? Welcome to another lesson in English language composition. Today we'll talk about my father. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to describe your father using appropriate words. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to describe your father using appropriate words. This is our keyword for today. Father, father, a male parent, a male parent. To talk about your father, children, you need certain description or certain words which will help you to talk more about your father. What are some of the words which is needed when you are talking about your father? Good. At least you should be able to know your father's name. Know where your father comes from. You should be able to tell me your father's name, your father's residence, which means where your father resides or where your father stays. Again, you should be able to tell me your father's height. After telling me your father's height, you talk about the personal or the physical feature of your father. Talk about the physical feature of your father, which is the color and body description. Is your father having big round face? You have to let me know. If your father has a pointed nose, don't feel shy to tell us. And also, is your father having a ring ear or a round ear? All these are some of the description you should be able to identify whenever you are talking about your father. After knowing all these, talk about where your father works. Is he a bank manager? Is he a doctor? That is a person who takes care of children in the hospital, or a person who checks the sicknesses of a person in the hospital. Or is your father a driver who takes people to their various destinations? After knowing all this, we talk about the favorite food of your father. Do you know the favorite food of my father? I will not tell you unless you tell me yours. Okay. Talk about the hobby of your father. Hobby is what your father likes doing whenever he has his leisure time. And the last thing is to tell me why you like your father or why you don't like your father. And I believe all of you here like your father very much. Okay, let's go through our guidelines for writing about our father. In doing so, it will help us write more about our father. And as we write it better too. So the first thing you should know when talking about your father is what? The first one is what? The name of your father, the hometown. Number 3 is what? The age. Number 4, talk about the residency of your father. Does he stay at Kumasi or even Sunyani? Or Does he stay at Takrade or Ashalbotre? This is what we talk about. This is what we say residence. This is what we mean about residency. Residency is where the person stays. So after knowing all this, we talk about the body description of your father. Is your father chocolate in complexion, or your father is fair in complexion? That's when you are talking about the color of your father. You talk about the facial. Is your father having round face, pointed nose, or ring ear? You should be able to tell me where your father works. If he works as a farmer, you should know that your father always grow plants and harvest them. If your father works as a doctor, know that he takes care of the sick people at the hospital. Talk about the hobby, what he likes doing best during his leisure time. My father likes playing hockey during his leisure time. I like my father because he takes good care of me. I believe so do your father also take care of you. Now that you know the guidelines for writing about your father, follow the steps and write about your father too. Until I come your way again, stay blessed, wash your hands and wear nose masks whenever you are going out. Until I come your houses again, it's bye-bye.